What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy, Cam ATL, and welcome back to another Prize Picks video with your boy, or player props in general. Drop a like down below because I already know you're gonna love it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Comment anything in the comment section and enter your name into the $50 giveaway I do every single week on this channel because I love you. If nobody else loves you, just know that Cam does. Just know that. Thank you guys for joining me as always. Sorry I didn't do a video yesterday. I got a little busy early on in the day yesterday, but we're right back to it, baby. Propsmadeeasy.com, you already know, where we enjoy advanced data driven tools to show us the best smart picks to make. It's as easy as just clicking on a sports tool and boom, you immediately know the best place that you can play. Remember, the key here, and like I like to do in every single video, is to let y'all know, remember, it is sports betting at the end of the day. Regardless of how data driven and how amazing these tools are, you will lose. That's one thing that you can't avoid in sports betting. So bet an amount of money that you're willing to lose every day. That way you're not letting it mentally stress you by losing too much money. And then kind of bring it down a little bit. Don't try to hit six picks every single day. I think that's one of the big things that cause problems for a lot of people is they're trying to hit six picks, and that's all they're doing every day. Is all they're doing is putting a six pick together and hoping for the best. Um, Six picks are incredibly hard to hit consistently. Yes, we hit them, and yes, it happens, and we hit them fairly consistently. Like, I'm gonna go over some shout outs in the player prop chat where people are hitting six picks, but that's not the most optimal way to play consistently. A lot of times, like me, I'm super transparent on how I like to do things. I'm very straightforward with it. Like, I choose my two favorite plays of the day. I go off every tool. I look at every sport tool and find my two absolute favorite props for the day, and I lock those two in, and I put as much money as I'm willing to lose on those two picks, and that's it. I move on. If you're interested in daily fantasy sports optimal lineups for DraftKings and FanDuel, greenlightdfs.com is my company. You can find that going to more here and going to DFS content, and it'll bring you over to my company, Greenlight DFS. But without further ado, let's get straight into it. Oh, let's do a couple shout outs real quick because it was a good night last night. Stroman went clutches last inning and saved the slip. This is a six pick. This is exactly what I was just talking about. Like, yes, people hit six picks, but for the most part, you want to kind of, tone it down a little bit. But as you can see, he only entered $8 into this. And that's exactly what I say. It's like, Tanner, good job. You did a six pick, but you only put $8 on it. Good job. You know what I mean? That's what I'm kind of hoping people do. Kind of around that 10 to 20. I mean, it all depends on your bankroll, but like putting like $10 on a six pick is cool, but majority of your bankroll that you want to bet with needs to go on like your absolute favorites. You know what I mean? Don't try to push it too much. But Tanner TLK, congrats, bro. $8 to 200 is always good. Little CSGO win from yesterday. AM 15 two mans. Damn. Taddy, I don't know. Fort Titty and KSU. Over 28 kills, easy money. KSU was a little bit of a sweat, but still hit as well. These were the two biggest CSGO plays on the slate for the morning yesterday, so a lot of people hit those, I saw. Luciano, nice little five-man, right? Unless we're missing a six, but yeah. Nice little five-man hit here, $5 to 50. That's always good. Oviedo did go under. Montgomery had an amazing game. He was popping hard. Goldschmidt, these are straight off the tool, man. Straight off the tool. Love to see it. Good job, Luciano. Got the W. Shea Matthews. Let's take a look. Shea Matthews with the four man. Freddie Freeman was the top hitter fantasy score of the day yesterday. I played him on mine. The only thing that let me down with mine is my two picks was Freddie Freeman over hitter fantasy score, and then I did Oviedo under 17.5 pitching outs, and dude goes to 18. That's 2 days in a row for me that guys have barely squeaked over that amount, but the hitter fantasy score goes under. So maybe instead of the pitching outs, maybe I start playing a little more pitcher fantasy score under. If I because if I like the pitcher fantasy, if I like the pitcher outs under, then I should like the pitcher fantasy score going under as well. And that way, I get a little more leeway on the pitcher fantasy score than I do on that pitching out. So, good hit right there though, Shay. Thanks the tool for Detmers. Yep, Detmers was all over it. Um, yeah, love it. Good hit, Chavez, 17.25. Fernando Tatis over total bases. Easy money on that taco. 2 days in a row. Jay So Frosty. Nice little six man. $10 to 250. Again, good bet. This is the same, pretty much the same six man we just saw earlier. Oviedo, Montgomery, Goldschmidt, all these guys were popping straight off the tool. Some of the best differentials on the tool yesterday. Just easy money. Very nice. Bang Bang PME gang, Kool-Aid. Hit a whole bunch. Damn. Let me see. Oh, missed on Kyle Tucker, but all good. You hit those five. Let's see. Let's go through like this. Nice little four-man. Yeah, I'm seeing a common theme here. Stroman's fantasy score, Montgomery's fantasy score was big for everybody yesterday. Kirby's under was big for everybody. Very nice. Nice hits, Kool-Aid. And that's it. That's it from the day. There were more on there, but we refreshed the player prop chat to today's date. All right. Let's get straight into the picks for today. So, as you will notice at the top of the list here, we have a few Dodger bats. This is what I mean by kind of putting your gut into things, and I'm going to give you an example here. Freddie Freeman and Mookie Betts are at the top of the list because their prop lines are so low here. Okay? Regardless of matchup against Shohei Ohtani, the tool thinks that 6.5 is way too cheap for two guys as talented as these two. Completely understand that. But for me personally, I just don't like to really pick on matchups like that. Like, I get it. 6.5 is too cheap, and more often than not, you're going to want to bet the over in that spot when you get when you get a chance to go an over on a Freddie Freeman and a Mookie Betts at a 6.5. Then sure, they're in play. But for me, I'm not going to really take much of that shot there, just because I like to match up in my own gut how I'm feeling, my comfort level. You know what I mean? Like, yes. Do I feel like Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman can go over 6.5? Absolutely, but I'm not going to be comfortable with those bets because Shohei Ohtani's on the mound. You know what I mean? So that kind of thing. That's exactly what I'm talking about. So I talked about pitcher fantasy score a minute ago and how I've been making a little bit of a mistake and I've been going too heavy on pitching outs. I'm not going too heavy because at the end of the day, these spots are fantastic. Like if the tool says under on pitching outs, the data suggests under. But what I need to be doing more of, and I think that can help me a little bit, is instead of going a pitching outs, maybe look at that pitcher's fantasy score and see if I can get a little bit better value on that spot. So there's a couple pitcher fantasy score unders that I like for today, and let's talk about them. Luis Castillo's at 40.5 prop line. Aaron Judge is out. He's on the IL right now. But this is still a Yankee squad in New York, I believe. Let me refresh my memory real quick. It's in New York. Luis Castillo is traveling to New York. Now, Castillo's had a solid season. He's got a 2.73 ERA, so he's not doing bad. But this is a tough spot for Luis Castillo to travel to New York and have to get over 40.5 fantasy points. He needs 41. We have him projected at 33 to 34 range, minus 6.87 differential on Luis Castillo. I'm going to grab that under on Luis Castillo's pitcher fantasy score. That's pretty damn high to be traveling on the road to New York. Aaron Judge are not in that lineup. Yes, Aaron Judge being there, this wouldn't be this high. You know what I mean? Like, his prop line would be less than this if Aaron Judge was in the lineup. But regardless, this game's in New York, and guys on the road, it's a struggle to get to that prop. All right, so we're going to go under on Luis Castillo, and then Tyler Wells, we're going to grab the under against Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay's been striking out a lot, but this is still a lineup full of hitters in here. Like, full of pesky hitters who are very disciplined at the plate. At the end of the day, they're a disciplined bunch, and regardless of how much they've been striking out lately, I'm willing to take advantage of spots where not amazing pitchers are in a position where they're traveling to Tampa Bay to face a pesky Tampa Bay team. So I feel like Tampa Bay could get to him a little bit, raise that pitch count up early, and make it a struggle for him to hit 31 fantasy score. We have him around 25.5, a minus 4.98 differential. So under on Luis Castillo fantasy score and under on Tyler Wells fantasy score are the two favorite plays that I have today. Another prop that's kind of been screaming at me is the under on Matthew Boyd against Kansas City. Just because Matthew Boyd's not very good. And, you know, Kansas City's got some guys in that lineup that can do damage against a lefty. So I have a little interest in that under 17.5, but I'm going to let it ride for a little bit. I'm going to let it sit for a minute, but I'm going to sit on it and think about it. But it is a green bet, so data suggests that it would be a smart bet to grab the under for him. So we'll see. But my two favorite, Luis Castillo and Tyler Wells, under on pitcher fantasy score. First inning runs tool. Let's take a look at what we got here. We got the under on the Jays and Marlins. Makes sense because you got Gausman and Alcantara on the mound. Gausman's not been very good in the first inning, but everything else suggests that it's going to be an unders play, regardless of Gausman's 7.2 ERA in the first inning or not. Alcantara's been fantastic. Vegas is on the under at minus 160. It's only a 7 total, a 1.23 combined whip from these two pitchers, so they've very good whips. Both these offenses have only scored a combined 27 runs in 74 tries. So a 0.676 OPS. Both offenses have been just non-existent in first innings. Grab that under on the Jays and Marlins if you can. I don't know what Prizepicks is offering. I don't know if they are or not. Remember to make sure you're matching up. But I like that spot there. And then the over on the Dodgers and Angels here in this one is popping. You've got Michael Grove, who's absolutely gotten destroyed. And so they're expecting some Angel bats to put some work in. Plus, both these offenses have been pretty damn solid in the first inning with an 869 combined OPS. So the over on the Dodgers and Angels is a solid spot. And then the under on the Jays and the Marlins. Let's talk some CSGO. For CSGO, we got a couple overs that I'm liking here. I like Pav for Boca Juniors against Wendigo. Map 1 kills at 16.5. We have him at 17.7, almost 18. A 1.21 differential on the over. Map 1 kills for Pav. And then the other side of that game, Fax Wall. Over map 1 kills of 17. We have him at 18.1, a 1.1 differential there. So nothing super crazy popping out, like no 5, 6, 7 differentials popping like we did yesterday with those two that I showed you when we were going through the shout-outs in the player prop chat. There was a couple plays that were absolutely popping hard on the tool. I'm talking like 8 differentials and stuff, and those guys were easy hits yesterday. But we do still have some differentials here, and Pav and Faxwall are good spots to go over in this one. All right, let's take a look at WNBA for today. We have the over on Jackie Young's PRA at 27. We have her at 30.9, a 3.9 differential for Jackie Young. Good spot for her to go over on her PRA against Phoenix today. And then actually in that same game, another PRA that sticks out is Michaela Onyenwere for Phoenix going against Las Vegas. PRA of 18.5. Solid spot there. So over on Michaela, over on Jackie Young, both PRA good spots. All right, there's other plays that are also popping, though. You got Jackie Young, that's looking good. Kelsey Plum. I already talked about Jackie Young, but Jackie Young's other props are also good value. Kelsey Plum from that same game is solid value. You've got these Brianna Turner, Sophie Cunningham. You've got plenty of overs that are looking solid today. So over on Jackie Young PRA and then over on Michaela is the two that we're going to rock with. And then for soccer, let's go under on Reek Puig for LA Galaxy. His shots is at 3. We see him matching or going under. We have a 2.29 differential for him. So solid spot for him to go under. Requi Puig under shots. And then it looks like the best value is going to be another under. Julian Carranza for Philadelphia. His prop line's at 3. We see his shot of going under pretty solid. Matching or going under pretty solid at 2.37 projection. Minus 0.63 differential. So under on Requi or Julian. All right, let's do a recap. Starting off with baseball. We have a couple under fantasy scores. Under on Luis Castillo. Under on Tyler Wells. 2 spots we're going there. First inning runs tool. Let's see if anything's updated here. Yes. So the top overall, it looks like some data came in on Sandy and raised his first inning ERA. For that, I guess in this last game, his first inning didn't do too well, but his first inning ERA jumped up. So that's not great. So instead, we're going to have to grab the under on the Athletics and the Guardians as the best undervalue. And you want to make sure you give the first inning runs tool time. Not too much time to where the best props are taken off, but kind of just, let it load in a little bit. Let all the data feed in. And then the over on the Dodgers and Angels is still the way to go. CSGO, we have the over on Pav and over on Faxwall. WNBA, over on Jackie Young's PRA and then over on Michaela's PRA. And then for soccer, we have a couple unders. We're going under on Reek Puig and under on Julian. All right, Thank you guys for joining me as always. ProximateEasy.com, baby. If you're interested in daily fantasy sports optimal lineups, you can find my company, greenlightdfs.com. Right here, you can go to DFS content. It'll bring you over to my company. That's where I post my every single day. We work on a ladder challenge. So I put my absolute two favorite picks that I talk about over on there for members. I go ahead and just put my two favorite picks over there for daily members on Greenlight. I also put what we believe to be through the data and research and studying and all that to be the most optimal lineups that you can play on DraftKings and FanDuel for baseball as well. As you know, Prize Picks is cool. You know, you can turn that, you can hit those six picks, turn that $5 to 200 or whatever. But DFS has got huge upside every time. So DFS is one of my favorite things to play because you've got that upside of a $20 entry hitting for 100 grand. You know what I mean? So it's a whole nother level of excitement there. That's why I have Greenlight, and that's why Greenlight's thrived, man. Because we've had days where we've hit $70,000 in a day. So yeah, Greenlight is the place for DFS content, or if you want to know my personal two plays that I'm playing. But as always, no matter what site you're using, what you're doing, if you're using Proximate Easy, if you're not using Proximate Easy, if you're playing with Greenlight, if you're not playing amount of money you're willing to lose, stay smart with your bankroll management, and let's keep grinding away, baby. Thank you guys for joining me as always. I'm out. Peace.